Today we are looking at Florio's running back rankings. We did quarterbacks last week, so we're going to do the guys who line up behind them. So, briefly, take me through top 10 running backs this year.
Yeah, at number 1, I have Jonathan Taylor, who I think is just the safest bet. I think is the biggest reward play at the position. I think his upside is met by no one else. At 3 is Austin Eckler, who is very similar to Christian McCaffrey, I think with just a slightly lower ceiling. 4, I have Derrick Henry, who last year was the RB1 through the first 8 games of the season. Number 5, Dalvin Cook, someone we just talked about a lot as being a first-round pick. 6, Joe Mixon, who was really good last year, and the Bengals' offensive line got a lot better. Number 7, this might surprise some people, Saquon Barkley. I just think with the new coaching staff there, Saquon is in for a big bounce-back year. Number 8, Najee Harris, who was awesome last year. I have some concerns about his pass game usage, but I think he'll still get a ton of volume. At number 9, Leonard Fournette, league winner Lenny, who I think is in a prime position to get a bunch of targets from Tom Brady this year. And then at number 10, the guy who could be the Packers' leading receiver, Aaron Jones.
All right, so let's go through some of these guys. You mentioned Christian McCaffrey at number 2. When we talk about CMC, the answer that we always get back a lot is, aren't you worried about his injury history? I know we've sort of talked about this, but because of that, would you be more likely if you're drafting him? Is it important to go and get a handcuff for him later in the draft?
Somewhat. Like, I would take the shot on Deontay Foreman, but I don't know if we have a definitive answer of who the guy will be if he goes down. The thing about the injuries with Christian McCaffrey is I'm not as worried about others, and maybe that's a mistake on my part, but he had a high ankle sprain. He had a hamstring strain. He had a shoulder injury. Those are not connected. Those are common RB injuries. I think you can make the argument that he's just been unlucky the last couple of years, and if he stays healthy, his upside is literally matched by only 2006 LaDainian Tomlinson.
He's been unlucky, and I think the Panthers have also been very cautious with him because they're a team that's been going nowhere the last couple of years, so it didn't make sense to rush him back. Joe Mixon at number 6, and of all the first-round running backs, he's the guy that I don't know that we've discussed in any real depth, but you talk about Eckler sort of having a lower McCaffrey-type ceiling. I feel like Joe Mixon is sort of next in line in that. I mean, he's a guy who runs effectively. He can catch a lot of passes, too, in Cincinnati. He really is. I guess if Eckler is sort of the target version of Christian McCaffrey, I don't know, does that make Joe Mixon out of like the Walmart version? I don't know.
I think so. And for a running back who finished last year 4th in total points and 7 in points per game, you would think more people would be excited about him, but he's still going at times in the second round. And I know a lot of people say, oh, the offensive line got better. That's going to mean a lot for Joe Burrow in this passing game. It's also going to mean a lot for Joe Mixon because everyone they brought in is actually a better run blocker than pass blocker. And this is a guy who, when he's out there, he's going to be out there for like 70% of the snaps, maybe more. He's going to be used on third down, like you said. I really like getting Joe Mixon, and getting him as like a late first, early second feels like a discount.
It does feel like a discount. Like I said, I just feel like, of all the running backs that go in the first round, we haven't talked about him a lot. Saquon Barkley at number 7. I like Saquon. I think he's gonna bounce back this year. You're even higher on him than I am, though. I mean, explain. I'm not mad at it. I just want you to explain yourself.
So when I was saying with Christian McCaffrey about bad injury luck, I don't think it gets worse luck than Saquon's had the last 2 years. A torn ACL, that's a common football injury. And then last year, literally jogging off the field, he stepped on a Cowboys player's foot, rolled his ankle, missed it like 5-6 weeks because of that. Like, if that's not bad injury luck, I don't know what is. And then I know a lot of people like to say, well, Brian Daboll abandoned the run in Buffalo. It's like, well, he did that when he had Josh Allen the last 2 years. Every year he's been an offense coordinator before that. He's been top 10 in rush attempts and usually in yards. So I think we're going to get a lot of rushing out of Saquon. I also think we could get easily 100 targets for Saquon this year just because I like the talent in the Giants receiving room, but there is a lot of question marks with that group as well.
I mean, remember his rookie year, he caught like 90. I'm coining it now. It's going to be the hashtag Saquon